So today we're playing Team Fortress 1, 26 years later. It is so weird talking about a game that came out and is as old as I am, pretty much. I was born in 1998, so I was technically alive when this game released, but barely. I was 11 months old when this game released, and I technically wasn't even born yet when the original mod, the Quake mod Team Fortress, was released, because this is a full game release of the mod, but it's not exactly the same game as the mod. There are some differences, but there's obviously even more differences between Team Fortress 1 and Team Fortress 2, which is, obviously the graphics are the big thing that stands out, but actually there are a lot more similarities than you would think. The core gameplay and balancing is not the same, obviously, but very similar between the class system and just the overall way that the gameplay is structured. Is like Team Fortress 2 took a lot out of the original game. Even the classic Two Fort map, which is the most iconic map in all of Team Fortress history, started in this game, not Team Fortress 2. So if nothing else, it's a cool piece of history, especially if you're a huge diehard TF2 fan, to go back to the game that started it all and was very inspirational towards what would become Team Fortress 2 8 years after this game's release. I think the gameplay is still a lot of fun and holds up surprisingly well. Again, we're talking about 1999. So keep that in mind if you're going to judge the game's graphics or the gameplay or anything. I think it was way ahead of its time back when it first released, and there really aren't many 26-year-old games that are going to hold up as well as this one does. And the best part is, there are still a lot of players online in 2025. You have at least one full server going on at, I'm not going to say any given time of the day. If you're playing like in the wee hours, like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, you're probably not going to get as much activity. But if you're playing during, especially weekends, which is when I have played this game, yeah, there's full servers and there's still a lot of activity. And it's crazy to think that, yeah, it's still fully intact and there's still players online. I imagine that some of the people who I'm playing against, they were 15 years old maybe when they started, and now they are 40 with, like, a bunch of kids and a family and everything, and they lived most of their life, this game being part of it. So that's insane, and that obviously is reflective when you're going up against them, and they know the map layout, they know everything about this game. And someone like me, I've played this game sporadically over the years. Like, I think 2012 was the first time that I played this. But I obviously don't have a fraction of the experience that a lot of these other players have. So there's a huge skill gap there. Team Fortress 1 is not a game that you're just going to easily pick up and play like Call of Duty. You do have to understand how the game works. You have to learn its mechanics and get a good feel for the game, and it can be rough and unforgiving when you're going up against people who have been there since the beginning and have a very clear advantage over you. That's the risk that you run by being a brand new player for these really old games. But I think they're still worth it, not just historically, but I think gameplay-wise. Like, I had way more fun than I expected, and I even enjoy playing this game more than Team Fortress 2 at times. I'm not really a huge TF2 fan, as you guys are aware. TF1, I kind of fuck with a little bit. I'm not sure why. And it's not nostalgia, because I obviously played TF2 before I played this game. But yeah, overall, I'd recommend you play it. It's cheap enough, especially on sale. I think it runs for less than $1. So you're obviously going to get at least $1's worth of value and entertainment out of this game, despite how old it is. So it's easy for me to recommend that you play this in 2025. 100%.